And one thing that has always struck me in duck hunting is the diversity and the difference from location to location and the different tactics that people use to be successful based on where they're at. You know, you can be in the South and maybe never see a duck use a dry field, but in the North, it's a way of life up there. I've rarely ever seen anything more than a wood duck use a creek here in Illinois. But if you go out west, out in Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, ducks are using creeks all the time. You know, different locations, same environment, but totally different usage based on where you're at.
Go. Right, please. One coming back around. Crashed in the mark.
Get him.
Got him. Kill him. They're gaddies. Get ready. How's that?
And then there's big water. You know, I've always looked at big bodies of water as a roost. You know, birds will sleep there, they'll disperse out, go to a loaf, go to a feed, back to a loaf, and then come back to that big body of water to roost at night. And while that's true for puddle ducks, for divers, it's a completely different ballgame. They're gonna use that big body of water for everything. So just like in puddle ducks, where you gotta connect the dots of roost, feed, loaf, you gotta do the same things. For divers, it just happens to all be in that same environment. There's so much variety in duck hunting, and the tactics that you use in Illinois or Kentucky might not work on birds out in Nebraska or Kansas. And the places that you see birds frequent a lot in Oklahoma or the Dakotas, you might not ever see them in those same locations when you go further east into a different state. Totally different, you know, settings and tactics, but we're all hunting the same birds. And it's always struck me as cool to see the difference from place to place. And what would your favorite style of duck hunting be? What would my favorite style of duck hunting be? It's cool to be laying in the middle of a cornfield with thousands of mallards circling overhead, but it's also pretty awesome to be in a layout boat or posted up on a rock wall and to see a couple divers hundreds of yards away skimming that water, kick those feet out right at the last second as they get into the decoys. They're all unique. They're all enjoyable. It's all different. You know, it's cool to experience the different styles of hunting, and it would be very tough for me to pick just one favorite way to hunt ducks.